So Calyrex is going to get that speed swap off into the Greedent, making us the fastest thing on the field. Going to Max Strike into the Charizard at +6. This is easily going to take it out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Littleroot Laddering. It's been a while since I've actually recorded one of these offline, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be live on Friday this week like I normally would be to record these. So I'm not live with the Twitch homies tonight. Instead, Friday I'm going to be at Comic-Con, so I'm really looking forward to that. So instead, we're recording this on like a late Wednesday night. So let's get into it and talk about what we're doing today. This is another Adam Santaco's special. This is something that he's been playing with for quite a while, and Greedent is by far one of his favorite Pokemon, and I would say probably his favorite Pokemon from Gen 8 from my understanding. He has tried to make Greedent work for as long as it has existed, and honestly this team looks super sick, and I know that playing against Carl, he's had some like decent success there and has done pretty well in like the LRL dojos and stuff, and has done really well in the ICs as well with this team, I believe placing in top 1000 this last month. So Greedent having access to Belly Drum obviously makes it a very big threat. Thanks to Indeedee having Follow Me, you can reliably get that up, and then you bring in Calyrex to be able to either Trick Room if your opponent has a faster speed stat, or you can set up Speed Swap, and then your Greedent is absurdly fast with an insanely high attack stat, and just pick up KOs left and right. On top of that, of course, we have Zacian, because format staple Zacian, why wouldn't we? Rillaboom to be able to just pick up like extra KOs on like opposing Kyogres and such, Elekis, you know, just basically anything you can. And then Lumberry, Defiant Thunderous, a really sweet piece of tech here, having access to Eerie Impulse, so we can go we can Dynamax this if we do get like an Intimidate boost off of it, and then in the late game, you know, when your opponent brings in their Kyogre or whatever, and you can just Eerie Impulse them to death, or you know, just basically any special attacker that Thunderous doesn't already line up well against, like an opposing Calyrex or something like that. Just being able to click an Eerie Impulse if you've already used your Dynamax or something like that can be really impactful. I'm excited to see how well this actually plays in practice. I know this is a team that Adam is absolutely in love with, and the last team that Adam sent in, I loved. It's still one of the only teams I have actually registered on my Switch. So let's get to it. Let's see what we can do today, and we will be back for round number 1. Interesting. Rayquaza is not something you see a ton of. See, this is really interesting because like they have access to Tailwind on Whimsicott, but they also just have like access to Taunt. But because I'm going to be having Indeedee out here, Taunt isn't really all that effective because I can just click Follow Me, and then of course I have Psychic Terrain up, so like Taunt just fails. But they do have Rage Powder here on Volcarona as well, which is very interesting. I think this is just like a Greedent game. I don't see really anything on my opponent's side that's really threatening to Greedent. If they go for Tailwind, I can set up Trick Room with Calyrex on the switch in. And then I think to round it out, probably just Zacian. Like it's just like the best Pokemon. I'm going to try to bring in as many times as I possibly can. I think this is the play. I don't see any reason that like this doesn't want to be the play. Like Thundurus could be good because they have Incineroar, and like obviously I'm bringing Zacian, so they might want to bring their Incin just to be able to get that Intimidate off. But like Greedent underspeeds the Slug, so I don't have to worry about that. Yeah, I think this is just the play. I'm not really worried about like Rayquaza doing anything. I don't see like they don't have a ton of spread damage either, so like that's not something I have to worry about on this. It really just depends on like what our opponent brings up front here as to dictate how we play this, but I have a feeling this is just going to be Indeedee, do the thing, get KO'd, set up Trick Room. Yeah, Whimsicott plays Rayquaza is actually perfect for us. Both of our restricteds here are shiny. You know, obviously our opponent has the one of the best shinies in my opinion of Rayquaza. It's just so good. And then, you know, we have the best shiny in the game in Greedent, so cannot complain about that. Let's just see. I'm going to click Belly Drum. I'm going to click Follow Me. And we're going to see what happens here. Opponent can't go for taunt because we have a psychic terrain up. So I don't see any way that this goes like belly up. I'm really hoping this is physical Rayquaza and they're able to take my Indeedee out this turn, which will allow me to bring in Calyrex and set up Trick Room. I think this is a Trick Room game and not a Speed Swap game, because this could be like Airstream plus Tailwind and then they are turbo fast, and then I just need to be able to KO them any way possible. So it really just depends on what our opponent has going on here. I'm really hoping this is like Wormwind, because we're going to negate that attack drop thanks to Belly Drum. Because Belly Drum gives you a plus 12 to your attack stat. So even if you're at minus 6, you still go to max attack. It's unlike, what are the... There's another one. I believe it's Anger Point gives you plus 6 to your attack, and not a static plus 12 like Belly Drum is. Indeedee actually holds on, and I'm very surprised to see that. They're going to drop our attack, and that's kind of whatever, but they have a squirrel to deal with. Their Life Orb Rayquaza, and this should basically put us back to full HP as well. I believe that's how Cheek Pouch works. I know we gain a non-zero amount back from Cheek Pouch. I'm not exactly sure the exact number. It's a good chunk there. Cheek Pouch just literally doubles our parry. Cool. So yeah, we got a free Belly Drum there, and I'm pretty okay with everything we have going on. The question is, do I want to go for Max Strike? And do I want to try to take out Whimsicott, or do I just immediately want to try to take out Rayquaza? I could Steel Spike into the Indeedee. This is really bad if they are... if they're Switcheroo, this is really bad. But they can't. I have Psychic Terrain up. I could go for Steel Spike just to get that defense boost. I think Steel Spike into the Whimsicott is fine. And we'll click Follow Me once again. Indeedee just needs to go down here. And I'm hoping now that I have a plus 6 Squirrel, they're going to try to target it down next turn instead of my Calyrex, so I can safely get Trick Room up. Beautiful. For the thumbnail. And like, even if they Moonblast and take me out and then go for a Wormwind, it's not really going to matter, because I'm still a plus 5 Greedent going for a Max Strike. Like, it's going to do a ton of damage. Nice crit, opponent. Busting through that special attack, that special defense boost. Ouchies. That actually did a ton. I'm genuinely surprised by how much that did. Alright, there's their Sash. Not really surprised to see that. We are now plus 1 defense. I wonder if they go for Tailwind now that I'm bringing out Calyrex and it will outspeed them. I have a feeling that's going to be their play. So I'm going to Max Guard this turn, protect the Greedent, and we'll set up Trick Room. What do we got, opponent? What do we got? Really hoping not to see Moonblast into Calyrex. That's like the biggest scare. This is also their last turn of Dynamax, which is good. Yep, there's their Tailwind. So Calyrex is going to guaranteed make it through this turn. This should be a Wormwind into... Oh, just Quake into my Greedent. That's also just fine. Nice Tailwind. What if I, with my Calyrex, undersped your team? And they have no immunities to this. So I am going to Max Strike their Rayquaza and go for an Astral Barrage. So we've seen Quake, which is probably off of Earthquake if I was a betting man. Wormwind might be out of, like, Outrage. I believe that's, like, the best physical flying type move that Rayquaza gets access to. Or, the best physical dragon type move. Rayquaza actually does hold on, but Calyrex is going to pick up the KO here on the Whimsicott for sure. Okay, so now we have a +1 Calyrex, a +5 Greedent with +1 defense as well. Feel like we're in a pretty okay position here. Here comes the Incense, and now I'm at +4. Psychic Terrain's still up, so they can't go for Fake Out. I can't Belly Drum again because I'm at below 50%. Last turn of Terrain. I could EQ. Could also just Gyro Ball. I think this is the play. Just go for a Giga Impact into the instant to take it out. Beautiful. They are special. Okay. Not really surprised to see Special Ray. Like, it's not all that surprising to actually see it here, but I believe its physical and special attack are basically the same. There's a Zacian. Unfortunately, I am currently being. I have a recharge turn from Giga Impact. Trying to think of the word recharge and just sitting here, I'm like, that's not right. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Zacian's going to be just double protect. Okay, that's also fine. Alright, Tailwind is now over. Last turn of Trick Room. I'm going to go for a Gyro Ball into the Zacian. And we will click Astral Barrage once again. I could have gone for Speed Swap this turn. Just so Greedent will outspeed the Zacian next turn. In the event that there is a next turn. But I think just trying to clean this game up now is probably the play. They would have to double into Calyrex to take it out this turn because my Sash is still intact. But I feel pretty safe about being able to take out a Zacian at +4. I would be correct. And then Astral Barrage at +1 should be able to take out this Rayquaza at, what, half HP or whatever it is. Just don't flinch. No flinch. Sick. Alright. Got to do the Greedent thing. Got to show it off. Heck yeah. All for it, man. Aerodactyl. Very interesting. It's actually a really cool, like, anti-Charizard mon for the mirror, I'm assuming here. Yveltal plus Groudon is actually pretty annoying, especially Groudon as a whole, because you're able to just, like, ignore what we have going on here with Greedent. I'm not sure if I like how Greedent lines up here. Unfortunately, like, Aerodactyl is also faster than, like, Thundurus. They also have, like, a potential, like, Trick Room answer here, so I don't think, like, setting up Trick Room is all that great. I think Actually really difficult on like face value here. I honestly think setting up Trick Room could be fine, seeing how our opponent wants to try to go fast with Venusaur, so we can just like underspeed them. But I also think we can just like go turbo fast with like Thundurus plus Indeedee with Zacian and Cali in the back. I don't love Rillaboom, seeing how they have Yveltal and like Ensign and Aerodactyl, all of which line up really well against it. I might regret not bringing it just because then I don't have a potential like switch in for Sleep Powder on Venusaur, but it is what it is. I think this is what we had to rock with and see what we can do. So Aerodactyl plus Groudon as a lead here. What do I think Aerodactyl has going on? It's not Unnerve, meaning it's Rockhead. I kind of want to just Max Lightning this Aerodactyl, try to take it out now, and go for a follow me here. I think this is probably the line, just try to take this out as soon as possible. Opponent is not maxing. So what are we doing here then? This is going to be a Stone Edge. And DD actually takes that really well, all things considered. Here's a Max Lightning. Probably going to take this down to Sash. No Sash. Okay. Very interesting. And then is this just going to be like Rock Slide from the Groudon? Just a Swords Dance. Well, that's also terrifying. Not a fan of that. Thanks, though. Not a fan of that at all. Okay. This is fine. Like, Venu comes out here. I don't even think I want to try to go for, like, redirection here. I think I just want to immediately Airstream into the Venu. And go for a Helping Hand here, just try to take it out. It is going to be faster than me, and I'm fine with that, because if it does go for a Sleep Powder into my Thundurus, I am Lumberry, so I'm immune. And if it goes for the Max here, then I'm most likely going to be able to take it out. With Indeedee most likely going down here. Max Groudon is kind of scary, just because this could be like a Rock Fall into Thundurus, and that would hurt a lot. But I think all things considered, this turn's going to work out pretty okay. Sludge Bomb. Max Airstream. This is going to KO, obviously. There's no Sash there as well. Okay. So this turn has gone pretty well, all things considered. Getting this speed boost is good. It really just depends on what Groudon does. If they go for a Rock Fall into... Okay, going for a Quake into my Indeedee is literally the perfect play. Because now my Thundurus is still out on the field, very active. Currently at +1 speed. And their Life Orb as well. So I can bring out Zacian here. Could also bring out Calyrex. They could potentially have Ensign as their last Mon. So I think I would rather go into Calyrex in that case. They have Yveltal as their last. That's also just fine. Unfortunately, Calyrex does not line up particularly great against that. Because they could have like Sucker Punch, they could have Snarl, they could have Foul Play. There's a lot of things they could have access to here. But I'm going to be faster with Thundurus than them. I could just go for Knuckle and swap out Calyrex and go into Zacian. I don't hate that play. Problem is they're going to most likely Quake into the Calyrex spot. I think I just want a Lightning into the Yveltal. If they protect, that's fine. And I think I just want to click Protect here. I think I want to try to stall out their turn to Dynamax. Okay, no Sucker Punch for you. Here's a Max Lightning. This should KO. Okay. So Thunder's just like obviously cleaned up this game very well. Getting 3 KOs in 3 turns is very, very good for us. And there is the Rock Fall. Completely fine by me. Like if Thundurus goes down here, which it does because they are at a +2 Groudon, we're just fine because we get to bring in Zacian here. They are a +1 special defense, which is not great, seeing how we have a Calyrex out. But Calyrex's Sash is also going to get broken here by the Sand at end of turn. So this is actually like a really interesting position because like I don't want to, like if I protect with Zacian, I still take a Quake into that slot and it's going to do a ton of damage anyway. And I don't think I'm going to be able, I'm not sure how much a +2 Quake into Zacian is going to do through Protect. So I think my best option is just to attack and go for the Astral Barrage here. Like we could crit, we could also just like, I'm not sure exactly how much bulk this Groudon has because all we've seen is Life Orb from it. But like Behemoth Blade may just do a solid chunky and put it in range of a Astral Barrage here. They also could like just Protect here and stall this last turn out, but this is also just fine. Let's see. Perfect. 4 turns, 4 KOs. Could not have asked for a better play. Like obviously we want to try to do like Greedent things on this team, but like just being able to show that this team has more than just a Greedent mode is very good for us. Just being able to, you know, actually win other games than trying to do the thing. Kyogre, Zacian, got the Seismitoad. Okay. I think this kind of looks like a Rillaboom game. I also really like Thundurus here as well. I don't really particularly care for Greedent. I think if I do like Thundurus plus Rillaboom, I line up pretty poorly against the Grimmsnarl from our opponent. But I also don't really want to lead like Zacian here because then I just get blown up by like Scarf Kyogre. So what if it's like Zacian plus Rillaboom as a lead? That's pretty weak to Zapdos. What does Calyrex do here on the lead? What if we just do like Thundurus plus Calyrex? If they lead Grim, what do they do? And I think I want Rillaboom and Zacian in the back. I need Thundurus, I think, to be able to deal with the Zapdos. Just gonna be Tornadus plus Zacian on the lead. I'm pretty okay with this in all actuality. I think this works out pretty well for our favor. Because I'm gonna be able to fire off a Airstream into the Tornadus, followed by an Astral Barrage. And then, like, we're going to be at, like, a pretty decent HP to be able to potentially deal with the... I could set Trick Room. Like, we know they're going to set Tailwind. I think Trick Room's actually the play. I could Knuckle into the Zacian. Could also just Lightning the Tornadus here and try to take it out. I think this is fine. I don't see any way they double target my Calyrex this turn. Let's see. I don't see any way that this goes completely terribly for us. If there's a Tailwind, as expected. Behemoth Blade, presumably into Calyrex. Gonna put me down to 1. Here's my Focus Sash. Here's my Max Lightning. Are you Sash? You are. Okay. That's a pretty easy KO next turn, thanks to Astral Barrage. And Trick Room goes up. Perfection. Astral Barrage here. Hopefully we can actually get an attack off. I don't imagine we're not going to be able to. Could just Max Lightning. I don't think I want to Max Knuckle. I could Knuckle the Zacian, but I think I would rather Lightning, try to set up for a double KO this turn unless they protect. Probably just short of a KO on the Zacian, but I'm pretty okay with this, all things considered. Oh, perfect. Yeah, now I have a +2. I have a +2 Calyrex, with our opponent going turbo fast. I feel pretty okay with this. Granted, our opponent still does have their Dynamax, but that is fine by me. If there's Kyogre and Zapdos. Perfection. Both of which are going to outspeed my team under Tailwind. So I'm just going to Lightning into the Zapdos, try to do as much damage as I can, because I do have Rillaboom in the back to potentially deal with this Kyogre as needed. And of course I have Zacian in the back as well. So I don't see any way that this game goes completely belly up at this point. Presumably this is a max from Zapdos. Yep. That did damage. That's the best thing we can say about it. That also did damage. Calyrex out here just giving it to him. Perfection. So we will Astral Barrage and we will Wild Charge. I could Eerie Impulse the Kyogre, but I would rather just KO it. Zap. And now this is a single target Astral Barrage into a Zapdos at very minimal HP, so I don't see any way this goes wrong. Perfect. Who knew? Multiple forms of speed control is good, guys. Being able to interact with your opponent's speed control in a positive nature is is a positive exchange for you. The fact that like that's literally what that game came down to, is we were able to move first by our opponent setting Tailwind and always going first outside of Trick Room, but the fact that we have access to Trick Room and was just able to disrupt our opponent was honestly the best thing we could have done. Alright, finally paired up for another game here. Interesting. How do I beat a Wheezing Gigas? How do I want to interact with this in a positive nature? Very, very interesting. I think this is a Greedent game. Like, obviously, Ndidi is not going to be able to completely... Like, the fact that, like, there are going to be things that interact with Ndidi in a negative nature is going to be frustrating, but I think this is just a play. They do have Eliki, which I need to be wary of, because it's going to be able to outspeed me if I do get a speed swap off. But their team is pretty weak to Trick Room if I can do that, and I'm feeling pretty confident in being able to do that. So, let's do it. Let's ship it. Do need to watch out for Glare coming out from the Zygarde. This could also be... Like, Bulldoze is going to be annoying, but I don't really care about Bulldoze, to be honest with you. Yep, it is just going to be Bulldoze coming out from our opponent here. I need to know how Speed Swap works with stat drops. The two speed stages are ignored and not exchanged, meaning I will be at -1 still. Interesting. I think this is still just Belly Drum. And this is Max Solgaleo. This is probably a Steel Spike into Ndidi if I was a betting man. Here's the follow me. Ndidi's gonna go down this turn. There's Bulldoze. Gonna trigger their policy. Gonna drop all of our speeds. So I think I want to Trick Room this turn. I think I want to Max Greedent and Max Guard followed by Trick Room. This is really interesting. I'm not sure the line this turn. Like, the doggo is scary. Dang near back to full. I think Calyrex is definitely the play here. This is really interesting. Because if I speed swap, I need to do math. 220 times 2/3 is 146, which I believe is faster than Solgaleo. I think this is Trick Room. And I'll just Max Guard this turn. And then next turn I can take out the dog. Potentially. I do need to be weary of power construct, so if I take out the dog, I need to do it in one turn. Because I know it's sash on it. I'm really hoping they just try to target down Greedent this turn. I'm really hoping they see that the +6 squirrel is a threat. Okay, there's my sash on Calyrex. Perfect. Perfection. And now I can Astral Barrage. Do I think Solgaleo protects this turn? If so, I think I need to take out the dog. I could protect and Steel Spike into Zygarde. Even if they get Power Construct this turn, I'm still going to be slower than them. So I'm not really worried about them doing anything here. Yeah, this is completely fine. Because now I'm not going to break Power Construct. I don't think. Maybe? I bet I still do more than 50%. I actually don't. That's so good for me. That is so unbelievably good for me. Because now I can Max Quake the Solgaleo to take it out. And click Astral Barrage here. Because Max Quake is going to take Solgaleo out. Zygarde is not able to do enough damage to take out Calyrex. So I'm going to be able to get off a single target Astral Barrage into their Zygarde this turn with its sash already broken. So this should be a double KO here into their double restricted, I would hope. Yep, easy KO. I'm now at +1 on both of my defenses, on both of my Mons. So, unless they crit 1,000 arrows here, I don't think I lose Calyrex. They're just going to go for Glare. That's completely fine. My Dynamax is already over. I've already been able to do my thing. And this is hopefully going to be able to give me a +1 on Calyrex. Yep, there it is. Perfection. Absolutely perfection. There's Eliki, which I underspeed thanks to Trick Room. And there's Moltres. Perfect. They can't Sucker Punch me because Psychic Terrain is still active. I have 2 turns of Trick Room left. So I'm going to collect Astral Barrage, and I'm going to go for Gyro Ball this turn into Moltres. I think Eliki protects. That's unfortunate. They actually don't protect on either. Fiery Wrath is going to be enough to take me out on the Calyrex. Let me go for T-Bolt. How much does this do? Not enough. Perfect. Unfortunately, I don't have Protect on Greedent. We know the sash is on Zygarde. I believe this is Specs Eliki. Come on, Greedent. Connect one time, buddy. Ah, I knew they had Sucker Punch. That sucks. But there's like no stalling that out. And now Trick Room is over, and I'm going to be able to outspeed the Moltres now. This game was really close. They sucker punch me, I play rough them. This should be, I would say, as long as I don't miss like multiple play roughs in a row, this should be GG. Exactly, perfect. Man, really sick run with this team. Adam just knows how to build them. His teams are so fun. So, as with most of the teams I play, I played 5 games today. We ended up going 4-1, and the one loss we had was to the Renya Sun team, which honestly I think we should have been able to win had I made the correct play. My opponent brought out a Grimmsnarl. I saw, ooh, I want to take that out. I need to deal with that, and it completely ignored the real threat of the Groudon on our opponent's side, and was able to. Our opponent was just able to do too much damage with Groudon and take us out, and as a result, we ended up losing that game. Overall, this team's really good. It genuinely is surprising how well put together like a Greedent team is. Like when you look at it on face value, Greedent is not a good Pokemon, but you're able to do just so much with it on this team to take it over the top of your opponents and just demolish them and take advantage of everything they have going on and just ruin their day. There's multiple times this playthrough that we were able to have our opponents set up Tailwind, and then we Trick Room with our Calyrex Shadow and just mitigate everything they have going on and ruin their day that way. We were able to speed swap Greedent, I think once or twice. We were able to do the Thunderous thing a couple different times and pick up KOs that way. I don't think Rillaboom ever saw the field, but like, it's not because it wasn't like brought, like we brought it a couple different times. It just never was able to come out because Thunderous was picking up KOs or Greedent picked up KOs. And like, it's very surprising to me how good Greedent was today. If you're looking for something just off the wall, but really well put together, one, go follow Adam on Twitter. His teams are phenomenal. I've been very satisfied with the last 2 teams I've played of his. And 2, pick this up. Go play it while you can. This team is so fun, and I highly recommend it. That being said, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week, and if you want to watch them live, come hang out on the Twitch channel every Friday morning. So we will see you then. Have a good one, everyone. Peace.